Okay, yeah, I'm back with another Street Legends video. You feel me, dig me? I know it's been a while, I've been busy with other stuff, but we gonna get right into this video. You feel me? These two guys that I'm starting the video off with, this is AZ, FASION, and Richard Porter, two Harlem legends. Now, these are two guys out of these three guys. Now, most people might know these three guys from the movie Paid in Full, but I'm from New York City, and I know two of these three guys. I didn't get to meet Rich, but I know Alpo and AZ, so we're gonna get into this video right now. Okay, so like I was saying, these two guys, their names are AZ, FASION, and Richard Porter. Now, they been getting money. Now, here's a picture of AZ, FASION with a big 7 BM. And y'all gotta remember, people, this is in the late 80s or the early 90s. These boys was getting to that paper. Now, here's another picture of AZ. He got the black with the gold Mercedes-Benz 190 or 300E. And you gotta remember, people, this is in the late 80s or early 90s. Just look at the car next to it. Now, here's Richard Porter. You know Rich, he was flying flamboyant. He's flossing the drop top joint. And remember, these dudes is probably in their late teens. Now, everybody knows that Richard Porter and AZ FASION, especially Rich, was the talk of New York before Old Boy came. Just check out how Rich is flossing the jewels, the bracelets, the rings. You know, he was putting it on back then, you feel me? Look at this picture with Richard Porter and his sister Pat Porter. Yo, they had Cristal. People didn't even know what Cristal was then. You feel me? See, Richard Porter was schooled by the best of them. If y'all don't know, this is Doo-Wop and his crew right here. You feel me? Now, this dude right here, this is LA. LA was schooled by Doo-Wop, and Doo-Wop and them came up under Nicky Barnes, you feel me? But they was schooled by the council and them, so they was moving different, and LA ended up getting sent up at the rooftop. Somebody just shot him and sent them up, you feel me? After LA was sent up, Rich was devastated because him and Rich were really good friends. And then him and AZ, they continue getting money. Okay. Rich meets Alpo. This is the part of the story that's getting intriguing. Okay, Alpo Martinez meets Richard, whether you want to say he met him in jail and he helped him out, or he just came to him and asked him for some work on the street. But Alpo and Rich got together and they started to establish association that developed into a so-called friendship. Alpo Martinez was a Puerto Rican kid growing up on the Lower East Side, and he was raised by a good family, and then he just jumped off the porch and got into the streets. Hate him or love him, but when Alpo jumped off that porch, he hit them streets running, and nobody can deny that. He was about his business when he hit them streets, especially when he was with Randy Love. Those who know, know. Ever since he was a young bull, Alpo Martinez always had a thing for the ladies. Ever since Alpo was young, he's always been a wild cat. He liked to laugh and joke, but he also could be laid back too. Speaking on laid back, Richard Porter was one of the most laid back, cool out, mellow dudes. but he also could be fly and flamboyant as well. Now, we all know that Alpo Martinez was on this fly boy flamboyant shit, you know. You know how he was. He was the life of the party. He wanted everybody to see him, and he was making sure he was a trendsetter. Say what you want about Poe, but at this period in his life, that boy was about his business. And you know Poe, he could get on his cowboy shit too, you feel me, on that gangster shit. Now, Richard Porter, on the other hand, he was more reserved, but don't sleep. Rich could get on his bullshit too, you feel me, dig me? Now, here's a picture of Richard Porter when he's younger with his uncle, Johnny Apple Porter. And Apple did some dirty, underhanded shit, and Richard's little brother, Donnell Porter, ended up losing his life. Now, most of you may know from the movie Paid in Full that Donnell Porter was a 14-year-old kid, 12-year-old kid that was set up by his uncle Johnny Apple Porter, and he brought him to a guy named Preacher and the crew, the Preacher crew, and they ended up unlifing the young kid. So I like to say a moment of silence for Donnell Porter and condolences to his family from KEEPLO. So shortly after Rich's little brother Donnell got sent up, Alpo and Rich got into some complications over some D-rugs, which are drugs, you know. So Alpo ended up bringing this guy here, Big Head Gary, up from DC, and they both put Rich in the cross, connected the dots, and got his knot rocked. You know, they unlifed him, you feel me, dig me? It got real ugly. Y'all know how it go. It got super ugly. So after Alpo moked Rich out, he went out to DC and he got with these group of guys who was stone cold, bona fide killers. For those of you who don't know, this is Shorty Pop. Shorty Pop was like a 15-year-old boy that was putting his murder game down in DC, you feel me? And he's the one who introduced Alpo to this other guy, and his name is Wayne Perry. Y'all all know about him, the Michael Jordan of murder. You heard me? So after running with them cats from DC, Alpo finally got gobbled up, which is arrested with the clicks on his wrist by them alphabet boys. They came and got him, you feel me? So after going to court for a couple of months, they offered Alpo a deal, even though they charged him with 14 murders. In Alpo's own words, he said it was better for him to cooperate. In other words, he bit the cheese, started ratting. So after Alpo cooperated with the federal authorities and became a federal informant, he did 26 years in federal prison, and then he was sent to a witness protection program under the name Abraham Rodriguez. So after being out for a while, you know Alpo, he couldn't stay away from New York, came back to New York City, ended up riding his motorcycle and allegedly getting into a conflict with a young bull, ended up smacking young bull, and young bull lit him up and sent him up on Halloween day. And that's the end of this story. If you're not subscribed to this channel, subscribe to this channel, KEEPLO, and give this video a thumbs up. You heard me?